In regards to being controlling, this is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there.
Wow, were you jealous of that person?
Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me.
No, I gotta be getting trolled.
It's just so confident that he says that. Bro, the fucking pink plushies are so scary, dude.
I think that it's much more likely that the reason why he didn't want her posting content is because that content would get her a lot of attention.
I wouldn't doubt that. He seems to be very insecure and not want his partner to fucking succeed.
I know I've done a lot of wrong in my years on Twitch that I wish I could take back, but a lot of you know I've been working on myself for the past year hard.
Jesus Christ, how much of a pattern of I'm working on myself, guys, don't be mad at me, is like going on here.
This is what happens when you take socially inept sociopaths and make them famous.
I don't know if he's a sociopath. I think that Mizkif is somebody who got famous young and he thinks that he can do whatever he wants and he got away with it for a long time. And like he's conditioned to be able to do that.
Scuba Ryan also tweets this clip out and Papa Gut quote.
Hey, we got it, dude. All right, guys, I'm just curious about this stuff, the fallout of the Mizkif stuff. So we're gonna watch Internet versus Mizkif's response. Let's just see.
Over the weekend, Mizkif put out a response to the allegations
Is this Boblox?
levied against him by his ex-girlfriend Imru. And in
Yeah, it was terrible, by the way.
his live stream, he denied certain aspects of the allegations, but accepted
And then mostly just went on about the rabbit.
others, such as saying yes, there was a time he did in fact try to put his hands down Imru's pants, causing her to yelp, but rather they were in a relationship at a time and he regrets not immediately saying sorry in that moment.
Is that what he said? Maybe I'm misremembering. I could have swore that it was more of that they were having a relationship conversation after they had broken up or something, and he thought they were getting back together, and it was like weird.
While also not specifically
I'm
saying
wrong.
if she was crying or not when it happened. Along with this, he also accused her of abusing her rabbits, showing pictures and videos of their living conditions.
Well, I guess it might be their living conditions. It also might not be, honestly. It might just be like another thing off the internet. Who the fuck really knows? And also like him apparently screaming, which I believe throughout the house isn't exactly a good environment for bunnies. They're apparently like annoying as shit. Bunnies are not exactly the easiest thing to raise. They get very startled. So,
And saying she was a bad pet owner. But
Whoa.
some online countered this narrative, pointing out that it's weird that Miz would record these videos almost to save them for blackmail in the future, while continuing to just let multiple rabbits die, and that also he may have contributed to a stressful environment with
whoa, that's me.
loud noises
What the fuck?
from punching holes in the walls. He also
All right, listen, Internet versus. You can suck my balls. Look, do you hear what he just said?
some online countered videos of their living conditions and saying she was a bad pet owner. But some online countered this narrative, pointing out that it's weird that Miz
All right,
would
some
record these
online.
videos almost
I thought he said Nicholas Diorio.
specifically saying if she was crying or not when it happened. Along with this, he also accused her of bad pet owner. But some online
All right, some online. I thought he said Nicholas Diorio because I was looking at over there, and I thought he shouted out Nicholas Diorio and then didn't say my name. I was about to get triggered through the fucking roof, dude. I was like, what is wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you, New Blacks? You fucking asshole.
countered this in future environments with loud noises from
Shit, this was such a base thing that Papa Gut said, by the way. And then it's so funny because somebody in chat said it, and I was like, oh, good point. And then boom, I was able to get a crumb of attention. So what do you guys think about that?
from punching holes in the walls. He also accused Imru of being mutually abusive and violent. There's a
That could be reactive abuse too. So
lot to get into, so let's just jump into it. Welcome to the Internet versus Mizkif's response. It starts when Cloudy Echoes posts on the livestream fail subreddit. Mizkif admits to controlling Imru.
okay, so you'll say Cloudy Echo's name, but not Papa Gut's name. All right, I see the kind of man you are.
Told her to dress older, stop wearing pajamas, and prevented her from traveling without him or going out with certain people.
Guys, I was just afraid. I was just afraid she'd get hurt. By the way, I blamed her for everything she wore, and I even blamed her for the stalkers. But I was just afraid.
In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and
Dress older.
schizos as a whole. Stop talking about past
To who? To her himself. To him, I'm assuming. Because I doubt she was talking about it online.
relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also
Whoa.
said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to
Guys, I'm only controlling her so she doesn't get hurt. You don't understand.
get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe.
Wow. Were you jealous of that person or something? Sorry.
And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have
Whoa.
done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was
And I'm
controlling, and I
sorry.
should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
Oh, Jesus, I'm so sad. Come on, bro. I don't think anybody thinks that what you're doing right now is genuine.
The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic. I told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because I wanted space.
And a deleted user replies, "It's just so crazy doing this publicly." And that's what he says, "Yeah, this is wild." Streamer.
Well, she brought it up publicly first, which I think that her reasoning was like she didn't want him to do it to somebody else. But I also think there might have been a factor where I think there might have also been a factor where she just felt like now that she talked about Twitch, she didn't care what Twitch said back to her, that she felt like she could talk about this too. I think part of it is like Twitch favoritism towards people like Mizkif, in general, and she just like, you know, I don't know, she just kind of like allowed herself to wander outside and like finally express what she actually had to feel, because like that like the lid was broken with Twitch, if that makes sense, because she had a Twitch controversy just before this.
Streamers will do anything for views, even if it's bad. They are a different breed. And Adeli replies, "I genuinely believe you have to be at least a bit sociopathic to thrive in that world." And Overthinking Ape replies, "This is what happens when you take socially inept sociopaths and make them famous." Wombo Wookie says, "What if one..."
Well, I don't know if he's a sociopath. I think that Mizkif is somebody who got famous young, and he thinks that he's like, his shit doesn't stink, and he's like that he can do whatever he wants, and he got away with it for a long time. And like he's conditioned to be able to do that.
One True King was actually a competition the whole time. It is Fond won that competition by not getting cancelled or being in controversy. And Stacks of Rubber Band says his prize is 800 viewers. And Wombo Wookie says a humble king. And Forever Drowning in Pools says truly the people's paladin. Idolus End says his lawyer is crying right now. And I Heart Bad Code replies, "I think he's in the attorney is on my to-do list phase right now. I was a paralegal for like 11 years. This is a common phase people go through." Which, by the by, I always hear people say plausible deniability when talking about situations that need to establish intent. But the thing is, people would absolutely be stunned by the sheer volume of people who respond to "you have the right to remain silent" with "wanna bet?" And Bosgalka says, "This isn't even a case, is it? Did Imru press charges or file a lawsuit? I thought she was only doing a restraining order. This is strictly about social standing and trying to stop the last rotten piece of his career from crumbling to dust like the rest already has."
Yeah, pretty much. And like, what does Mizkif do, by the way? Like, I'm not even trying to be an asshole, but I mean, if he was good at something, then I could see him surviving it. But like, he's not like good at games or anything. I don't even know what his. I mean, he was upset that Emiru was better than him at World of Warcraft. So I would like assume that part of the struggle here, like, what is he going to come back and do? You know what I mean? Like, what is he even going to recover to do? Like, be a streamer people think is a cool guy? But you're not really going to be able to do that now, huh?
I don't think a lawyer would help here. I don't think there's anything he can do, but if there is, it's bullshitting and praying. He tweets out this clip with the caption, "Mizkif addresses the SA accusation."
Oh, okay, so you'll say Yeet's name, but you won't say Papa Gus's name. I understand.
We broke up for about a month.
I understand.
Then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food.
Guys, people were correcting me and saying that BJ's is also a place you can get food, and not just like a wholesale outlet. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for getting that wrong. Okay. I'm so sorry.
And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss.
Whoa.
She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought
she said it was okay with it on her stream. What does that mean? She said it was okay on her stream? I don't understand what that means.
that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
Why wouldn't you say sorry? That doesn't even make sense to me. Okay. You think you'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to violate your boundaries." You don't have to say that explicitly, but you could communicate the general thing. So it's kind of interesting, but
we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months where we were fighting, we were still fighting, but it did feel like the relationship had good progress. And we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want. And Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted on paper.
Cool.
I'm going to let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true.
Thanks for letting us know that. Okay.
This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this. One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her.
Like eggs with the breakfast or what?
She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. And I just looked at this letter that I was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper.
Wow.
She began to cry, and I told her, "I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore." I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I
You
was
just said things were getting better. What?
not mentally well.
So just to be clear, like the point that he's saying here, I want people to understand like what he's doing here. What Mizkif is saying here when he says this is he's like, right now there's criticism that like he treated her like shit. What he's trying to do is say like, well, if this is true, if she wanted to get married to me, I guess I wasn't being a piece of shit. It doesn't negate it. People in general that are in abusive relationships will generally like they will not take abuse as like they will rationalize why it's okay that they did that. Like, oh, that wasn't them, this, that, and the other thing. They'll make up an excuse and you know, just to rationalize it for themselves. And they a lot of times will actually love the person abusing them because, like, you know, maybe 99% of the time they actually have a good relationship. But he's trying to make it seem like, oh, because she wanted to, if this is true, which it might be, it doesn't change anything. If this is true, she wasn't really a victim. That's the entire argument that she's like, that's really what that's kind of like the, I guess, the subtextual argument here.
I walked away. I went to her door, and
Whoa.
as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go.
Don't
I
go.
love you."
I love you. Wow, so powerful.
In Florida, man replies, how is it SA if he stopped when she reacted negatively? You can say it was in poor taste to make an advance at that point, but SA...
Well, I would. I mean, if she's sitting there crying, why are you getting like, why is it something that's like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to make my move now. She's crying.
Seems like a stretch and a half. He went for it, and she wasn't interested at the moment, so
The problem is he has no credibility. He doesn't come off as somebody that's like credible. So, you know, she does.
he stopped. Don't understand the issue. And Yasin replies, it's SA because he tried to take advantage of her while she was in a weak state of mind. The fact that he stopped when she said no is what makes it not rape or attempted rape. There's a difference, I think. And Florida Man says, the weak state of mind being that she was sad. We're putting that on the same level as her being passed out drunk. And Yasin says, of course not. If she was passed out drunk, that'd be rape because she wouldn't have been able to say no. Though according to both, she was more than just sad. She was in a bad place bawling. That's not exactly the time to shoot your shot unless, of course, to take advantage of the situation. Mossy says, I can confidently say I've never tried to feel up a crying woman or interpreted crying as asking for it, but I'm also a decent person. Marie says he put his hands down her pants without asking. And Florida Man replies, please tell me how many women you've slept with while asking for affirmative consent every single step along the way. He'd
Okay, these people are really doing the debate here.
also tweets out this clip with the caption, Mizkif confirms that he did speak with somebody on Imru's team at TwitchCon.
Can you clarify what, if anything?
Oh, right, because he wouldn't stop basically harassing her. That makes sense. Yeah. She just literally would not stop harassing her. It was actually fucking like he just wouldn't. He kept messaging her over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Was said to her team at TwitchCon. I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear, and that is exactly what I said.
So they had no contact for like months, and he just like said this at TwitchCon because he was so afraid. Because he was so afraid that she would say something. And nuclear means I'm going to talk about your bunnies. That's what that means, by the way. So.
And that's what's going to happen.
Whoa.
Because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose.
You can't mess with me anymore. She would bully me all the time. You can't mess with me anymore.
Sorry, I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose.
And Repsion replies, you have everything to lose.
Oh, okay. You'll say Reption's name. Okay. What the fuck, dude? What did I do? What did Mr. Nicholas DeOrio do, dude? Huh? I know what he did. He's dodging me. He won't hang out. He won't go to He won't hang out. We live close to each other, but he will literally just ignores me every time I mention. I'll go in the chat and say hi, and he'll respond. But then the second I'm like, yo, we should get together, he's like, oh, crickets, you know what I mean? So if he doesn't respond soon, I'm gonna go nuclear. I'm gonna expose his relationship with Bulblocks. Oh, oops.
He cares so much about somebody having more views than you, it shows your disconnect with reality. You can't be happy for other people's success. Thus, your insufferable misery will decline your views with time. Go shake a cherry tree again in Japan, dickhead. Radical Moderate says, saying you don't have anything to lose makes you sound like a fucking serial killer. I swear, these streamers need to take PR classes or something. Unhinged shit. Madam Savvy says, just retire. Saying he has nothing to lose, threatening to go nuclear. He told Emmy he was S and had S behaviors. This escalates to scary places with someone like him, saying things like this. I hope Emmy and others are able to protect themselves. I hope I'm dead wrong, but I'm quite scared for anyone around him. Nicholas DeOrio tweets out,
oh, okay. So you'll say Nicholas DeOrio. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. You'll say Nicholas DeOrio. Okay, got it.
I didn't cover up an SA. 2025 Mizkif. I'm going to reveal all the darkest Twitch allegations I stayed silent about and covered up because my ex-girlfriend exposed the time I nearly committed S when she got more viewers than me playing Rust. Every time.
All right. I can appreciate trying new things, like trying voices, but come on.
A career's on the brink. These Twitch/former Twitch streamers threaten to leak everything. Is everyone at Twitch an S offender? Is it like social media Epstein's Island? One cover-up after another? Dorner tweets out this clip with the caption, Mizkif explains how Imru would neglect her own rabbits and didn't give them food or water and left them outside in 100-degree weather.
Emru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits...
You saying he doesn't want to do it because I brush my teeth in the shower? Interesting. Do you think that's true? For real? You really think that's true?
Rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room. They started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
Whoa. Thank God we let the sevens just go. Incredible.
Here is a video up close of Emru's rabbits.
Wow.
These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is a
So why didn't you do something about it? What the fuck?
up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't.
Edward replies to the clip, Emmy, he weaponized my emotional breakdown during my most vulnerable moments to ask Amy. Ms, she neglected her rabbits. Ivan Ironfist says, Lamau, Imru literally predicted he would weaponize the pet's death. This dude did not even watch her video. And Alls says, so she predicted an argument that he would use against her because she knows she was in the wrong. That isn't a flex, lol. Scuba Ryan also tweets this clip out, and Papa Gut quotes,
Hey, we got it, dude. We got it, dude. All right. I forgive you, dude. Don't worry about it. I was just kidding. Don't worry about it.
by saying, rabbits can die from loud noises.
True. I actually, after this whole thing happened, I started screaming at rabbits, so I'm kidding.
The behavior of punching holes in the walls and breaking doors didn't create an environment that caused the rabbits to fail.
That's a fair question.
He then follows up with the screenshot that says, yes, rabbits can die from loud noises.
I did follow up with a screenshot, thank you.
They are highly sensitive to stress and can die from fright. Loud, sudden sounds like fireworks, thunderstorms, or a neighbor's loud music can trigger a stress response that leads to a heart attack or shock, which can be fatal. Oofy quote tweets it straight.
And I imagine that if it could do that, then they could have lesser effects, like make the rabbits like terrified and like not eat or shit themselves or be like less clean, or there's probably 1,000 different things. And also if the Miz is fucking sitting here and yelling all the time. I mean, how often? Because he also mentioned that she was in the that the bunnies were ended up in like a common space, like a living room space. So if he's being belligerent and he's acting a certain way, maybe she just feels uncomfortable leaving her own room. So
Graves, who posts out the clip of the rabbits and captions it by saying, rabbits are sensitive and are known to just die from literally any sort of change in routine or environments, especially if those environments are problematic and loud, like yelling and punching walls and throwing furniture around, or any of the myriad of rabbit illnesses that spread fast. Imru isn't an animal abuser. She was in a shitty situation for so long, and that shit can affect the animals in the house it takes place in. Abusive relationships takes a toll on you. It makes it hard and sometimes almost impossible to keep track of everything life throws at you while also maintaining what you have going on. If there was any negligence, let's be real, I wouldn't be surprised if they died from Miz throwing shit around and screaming all the time. Things happen, and it's not always the owner's fault. And Zender replies, I saw Asmund make a pretty good point. If Emmy is the problem, if she's the one not taking care of the rabbits, how come they were fine both before and after she lived with Mizkif? Nicholas Durio tweets out, the Mizkif stuff is still so crazy. He claims there were animals suffering and dying in his house, and all he did was collect a video for blackmail. He absolutely made no attempt to save the starving malnourished rabbits, and
that's kind of true.
He thinks that helps him. For over a year, he claims animals were being tortured. Apparently, family members confirmed it. He wanted to get back together with the woman who allegedly killed the 7 rabbits that he chose to let die. I know people have an issue with his version of events, and there is no proof any of this even happened at all. That's the point. In the best possible interpretation of what Mizkif said, he's just watching his girlfriend/ex torture her pets until they die in his home. It's bizarre. And Logistic replies, you are Uno reversing this on him so hard. If you are granting the story, then the person directly responsible for the rabbit is 100 worse than Mizkif. Would you call them out on it? Or it's strategically bad to do so and just focus on shitting on Mizkif? And Nick replies, you're actually retarded if you think it gathering evidence of animal abuse in your house and not actually helping the animals or getting them to...
Well, I mean, it shows that Mizkif didn't actually care about them, and that he was more interested in holding on to that information than revealing it, like some potential abuse about the rabbits. So that is like damning. I also think people are obviously going to be more charitable to her because she's the victim in this situation, and he had more control. And he also comes off as like a more domineering type of a person. Like Emaru comes off as like a more passive individual. So all of these things, like to me, they track and they make sense.
to safety is anything other than completely fucking psychotic. If you need me to say animal abuse is wrong so your brain-damaged little mind can comprehend the argument,
Whoa,
fine. Yeah,
that's
it's
rude,
insane
dude.
to knowingly let pets that you see every single day be abused and die in your home. No Limits or tweets out this clip with the caption, Mizkif's online fake sister, MJ Plays, states Amaru did neglect her rabbits.
Whoa. What is she doing? Why is she... Okay.
She neglected the rabbits allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly, I saw with my two, not 20/20 eyes, but like
Wow.
decent enough vision that they were definitely kept in
So sad.
overly neglected cages.
Crazy.
I Keep It Taco tweets out, Emily, referencing Amaru, has been one of my best friends for 10 years. At first, I thought this wasn't needed, but it's insane to me to see that some people are actually calling her an animal abuser or bunny killer on here the past few days, and stating it as fact. She goes,
I don't think anybody like really cares about that, if I'm being real. Like, I think people are just pretending because they want to try to sweep for Mizkif to the best of their abilities. So, oh, Mizkif was a horrible, abusive piece of shit. But what about the bunnies? You know, like, you shouldn't hurt animals. I'm not saying that, but obviously, like that's the whole point, is just like fucking to, like, distract from what's actually like going on here. It's just like it's just a run defense for Mizkif to the best of their abilities.
way beyond for her pets, and in my view, Mizkif's claims are so easy to refute. To me, he often seems to avoid accountability. He has always come off as highly inauthentic. I personally suspect the cage was recorded after she left back in early July 2024, and kept in case it could be used against her later. Seeing his decision to share the video now instead of back then, it seems to me he may have filmed and kept the video for leverage. What actually happens, to the best of my knowledge,
That actually makes sense. That's most likely what it was, because he's like so terrified that she's going to come forward against him. You can fucking like literally see it in his, like, hear it in his voice. So he's like, well, not even that, but like he's harassing her. We saw all the messages that he left her. So, you know, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Emily left the cage behind because she was moving out to a new house alone and took her buns with her. It made no sense for her to clean the cage that week. She was
Say buns? What the fuck?
focused on moving away from a bad environment ASAP, and she planned to buy a new one for the new place. I helped her build a new cage at her place last summer. I have pictures of that day because while
You have to build the cage, dude? What the fuck is this, IKEA?
was building it, her cat Cheddar was playing with my rings all day, so I was teasing him with them when he climbs into the cage. First two pictures. Then he attaches this first picture of Cheddar along with this picture.
Call it Shredder Cheddar.
The post continues, rabbits are dirty animals. They shit and poop all the time in abundance. If you want a super clean cage with zero poop visible, you'll end up cleaning it multiple times every day, every week. Most owners do it once or twice a week. It's normal for there to be poop. The poop is very dry, so it doesn't have any smell. There's no inherent issues with this.
Ew.
Rabbits poop 200 to 300 pellets a day each. I only know this because when you're around someone for so long that takes care of their buns, then you tend to learn a lot about buns. Why is the cage extra dirty and why
Stop calling it a bun, dude. That's just weird to me.
does it have bugs in it? Emily didn't see a reason to clean it again if she was moving out and not bringing it with her. If I had to guess, it was unattended for a couple weeks or more after she left. People were free to toss it away.
Oh, maybe. Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting theory. So the theory that we're operating with is that, like, the cage was... Oh, dude, wait, that makes a lot of sense. Wait, this makes a lot of sense. So the theory here is that the reason that the bunny cage was so disgusting and full of mites is because Emiru was moving the bunnies out, and so she took them out of that cage and, like, left and got a new cage at wherever she moved into, and she left the old one. And so since rabbits poopy so much, mites still ended up getting inside the rabbit cage, but the rabbits weren't actually living in there. And then that is what gave Mizkif the opportunity to record a video of it and hold on to it so that he could blackmail her and say that she was abusing her bunnies. Okay, wait, that actually might be the case. That actually might be the fucking case. That's interesting.
The bugs likely showed up after the cage was left dirty for some amount of time.
Gotcha.
She left them to die? No, she didn't. Two of the buns, Kiwi and Honey, are with her. Last picture. And the third one, Bean, passed away last year because of medical procedures.
Also, don't bunnies have like 8,000 children? Like, isn't that the kind of like their biological imperative, unfortunately, you know? I'm just saying.
Black side one, third picture. She was over 1 year old in this picture. So here is the pictures of Kiwi and Bunny as described by Taco. And this is the picture of
Whoa.
Bean. Taco continues saying, Bean was 5.
You know what I like to do? My cousin has a boyfriend and he has bunnies, so I buy the bunnies things off of AliExpress. So like I just bought him. I still haven't given it to him, but I bought him what is it? Like a little TV. It's not a real TV, but it's like model stuff. Like a model TV and a model phone and a model like Super Nintendo. It's pretty cool stuff.
5+ years old when she died. She passed away late June 2024. It was due to a seizure. She always had health problems. When she was a baby, she would randomly pass out and stop moving for a bit. The first day Bean had passed out was when she was a baby. Emily immediately ended stream and drove 3 hours to the nearest open animal hospital because it was a Sunday and most of them nearby were closed. The vet said her heart would randomly stop pumping because her heart nodes weren't developed correctly. Years later, the vet said things should be okay now that she's older, but she then later on would again start passing out randomly and waking up. The heart problems never really went away. It just reappeared later as she got older. Maybe the stressful environment brought it back. I don't know. She had complications since birth. That's how she died. A few of her original buns later on were learned to have very poor genetics due to the breeder she got them from years ago, pre-2017/2018. We didn't learn this till the buns bred later on in their lives, and we learned—
Well, don't purebred like dogs end up having like more issues too? Like, isn't that one of the things? So if you're getting like purebred bunnies, wouldn't that potentially cause it to have a problem?
it over time. That's also how Mocha died in September 2021, 6 to 10 months old. Her mom, Poe, 6 years old, passed away a few months after giving birth to Mocha. Unfortunately, Mocha inherited poor genetics from Poe, which caused her to pass away early. It's unfair for Mizkif to mention none of this, however, not surprising for someone who didn't mention any of their names to begin with, nor their history. Emily has cared for multiple bunnies over the years. If they had any medical issue or were found to have a birth defect, she'd spend thousands of dollars to give them the best care and as fast as possible. She tried to give her bunnies the fullest and longest lives possible, even when she was told it wasn't worth it financially. This was before she got into streaming too, and she is the same way now. They're not an accessory as some people try to imply on the site. It is hard to believe an animal abuser would do this. Then it has a quote from a veterinarian article about rabbits, saying, quote, "Loud noises can lead to extreme fear, heart attacks, and other health problems like gastrointestinal stasis. It's important to provide a calm environment and a safe, quiet hiding place to minimize their stress." End quote. Taco continues saying, "Honestly, I didn't think at this point until people brought it up here, but it's true that a lot of loud noises and stress can impact the bun. They're weak creatures. It's why people don't recommend them as pets, because if you could attach them too easily, you have to be prepared for premature deaths." In the clips from that period, Mizkif's behavior during this time came with a lot of yelling, door slamming, wall punching, and other loud outbursts. Loud noises and stress can exacerbate rabbit heart conditions. Due to this, I don't think he considered the bun's well-being until it benefited him as leverage. Rabbits are prey animals. They're very sensitive and fragile creatures. Saying they died because of no food, no water is completely false. Or she left them outside in 100-degree weather. She lets the buns to the rest of the house and sometimes the backyard to roam around. That's healthy for them. She doesn't keep them in cages or playpens 24/7.
Man, when we had our garden going, we had bunnies in the garden. It was cute. And then we got rid of the garden because it was attracting wasps. So, that's my story.
He keeps referring to them as rabbits, but he doesn't even know any of their names, not a single mention. I got the impression he sees animals as opportunity. Me, Emily, and a few other friends were watching Alien Romulus last September.
I wonder if she would have, this is one of the things too, because he's like a piece of shit. But like, if he seems to be like a conniving person, this is one of the things with me, like, right? Like, he doesn't just seem to be like kind of a bad guy. He seems to be a malicious guy, or excuse me, he doesn't seem to just be like kind of a guy that, like a flawed person. He seems to be a malicious person. That seems to be the case, right? Like, he's not just like making mistakes and being an asshole sometimes and not realizing he's a dickhead. It seems to be much deeper than that, where like he's holding on to some information, possibly making up information, just so that he can try to go after somebody in case they talk badly about him. So it's not even like he's well-meaning. He seems to be an actual piece of shit. He's not just somebody that's like flawed. He seems to be an actual bad person. It's not often that we all spend time together as a group IRL because everyone is split across the country. What happens? She tells me she has to leave, but she'll be back fast because Mizkif needs help with a stray cat that he found at the airport, and he has no one else to help him. It felt performative to me when he posted and later deleted the cat photo on Twitter. She missed out on the entire movie and showed up 30 minutes after it was over. I told her it seemed to me he was just using the stray cat as a way to interact with her and get her to hang out with him. The stray cat ran away, no surprise, and nothing was achieved. Emily had told him earlier we would be in town that week, so I suspect he might have used that information to try to minimize her time with us. At that moment, it seemed he still had a lot of influence over her at that time. I think that's everything I gotta say about the buns. I know I've been criticized for being vocal on numerous drama situations in the past. I think it's important for me to speak because I've always been in a position in my life where my livelihood isn't at risk for speaking out against people who might be a detriment to our community. I've never relied on streaming for a living and never will. Not everyone can say the same. I don't even stream anymore. My passion isn't there anymore. It's somewhere else now. Then he does a TLDR and continues, "I took my time writing this to make sure it reflects only what I've personally seen, heard, and experienced, and articulate it in an easy to follow format. Disclaimer, these are my personal observations and opinions based on what I've personally seen and experienced from my own perspective. Others may disagree." Jake Lucky tweets out, "Mizkif, Imru." Oh, Jake Lucky, dude. I haven't like seen Jake Lucky really since like the iShowSpeed controversy shit.
Was also violent, attaching this clip.
I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste in myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would
I love how genuine this comes off.
throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
Harp replies, he actually said this out loud with a straight face. Bobox tweets out this picture with the caption, "Imru and her pile of deadly pink projectiles that she used to assault Mizkif with." And you tweets out this clip with the caption, "Stable Ronaldo can't believe Mizkif called Imru violent for throwing clothes and plushies at him."
I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was gonna...
Wait, so she... No, I gotta be getting trolled. Wait, I'm not even kidding. Is this a joke?
Bro, Bro, the fucking pink plushies are so scary, dude. That part is so funny to me. It's just so confident that he says that. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that she threw that stuff at him. I wonder why. I wonder if the intention was like he would do something to her and she would do something back, or if she was being playful or however it worked. I don't think that anybody thinks he was ever being playful with her. Like, I think that he was being like, I think we're all pretty aware that he was being like just trying to be like nasty to her. You know, like there's something very malicious. We saw the messages of him melting down because she was playing the same character as her in a fucking video game in World of Warcraft, and she's like, he's like, people are gonna think that you're better than me.
That's your. Did I hear her say she threw a plushie at it? That's fucking like. Just.
I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you."
Wow, so powerful.
What the fuck is he even talking about? That was really him. That was an AI. What the?
Tectone tweets out this picture with the caption, "Me when my partner throws a sock at me." And
I feel like I don't know. Doesn't Tectone have some pretty Tectone has some pretty intense allegations against him? I'm not sure why he's one of the ones talking, but okay.
Particle of God replies with this gif saying, "Me when my girlfriend is better at WoW than me." He'd also
I mean, like specifically, like very toxic relationship set. So I don't know. I don't know if he's the one to really be saying anything.
tweets out that Mizkif has reportedly disabled his YouTube comment sections besides his most recent video, and the ability to make AI videos of him on Astora too. John's Adventures replies, "I'll go nuclear. I have nothing to lose."
Damn, that's an interesting one. That makes sense to not let people make AI of you at this point.
Said the innocent nice guy. He tweets out this clip with the caption, "Asmongold apologizes for platforming Mizkif."
And I said at the beginning, right? I said it, a while ago. It's like it will be bad, and it's not my story to tell. And I think you guys can see why now. I apologize for two things: for vague posting about it and saying that, and I also apologize for platforming him. Right? I mean, the truth is I couldn't have known. I didn't know any of this whenever I met him. Whenever we started OTK together, I had no idea. And when I did realize, you can see kind of the way that I dealt with it and everything, and it's just like in stream, like this is the reason why.
Why is the music so sad? Like, is Asmongold playing sad music for like who's playing the sad music? Is there supposed to be like an additional effect because of it? Who edited sad music in this?
I fucking like when Ludwig had that clip about like 95%.
Wait, what is this?
Said the innocent nice guy. He tweets out this clip with the caption, "Asmongold apologizes for."
Have known.
What the fuck?
I didn't know any of this whenever I met him. Whenever we started OTK together, I had no idea. And when I did realize, you can see kind of the way that I dealt with it and everything, and it's just like in stream, like this is the reason why I fuck.
Did he really play? I don't know. Did he really play this sad music on his live stream while he was talking about this? That seems very performative to me. That's very strange. Or was he just? Did he just happen to have this going? Okay.
And like when Ludwig had that clip about like 95% of streams, I'm gonna talk to again. I was like, yeah, yes, bro. Like, yes, you're so right. Like, the thing that happened in 2022 was kind of like the beginning of the end for me, with like being friends with any streamers or anything like that. And I have like a very small circle now of people that I'm close with.
And Showtime.
The music is killing me. I'm sorry. The music is too much to me. It's just fucking weird. That's his stream music. It just feels too. I've heard his stream music before. Like, and it's usually just like It's usually like World of Warcraft music. What the fuck was that?
Replies, "I find it cringe as fuck that both Asmongold and Tectone keep making this about themselves. I watched Imru's video and understand the situation from her end now, but holy shit, it feels like a lot of creators are just jumping on this coming out story for engagement points." And Itza Diamaliano says, "That's tone deaf. If he didn't make a statement about this, people would have nagged him and said he supported Mizkif, he's a bad man. Instead, he approached the thing up front. But it's Kafka Trap situation. He'd be criticized for saying it, and for not saying it all the same." Jay replies to the clip of Asmongold by saying, "Hitler apologizes for being friends with Joseph Stalin." He'd also tweets out this clip with the caption, "Asmongold responds to Mizkif addressing the controlling allegations."
You brought her to the house, and she was already doing TikToks like this to begin with, right?
I don't think that's just the music that he leaves in. I see him like when he does other stuff. He's playing like World of Warcraft music. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't put it past it to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking conspiracy brain. I would not put it past him to be like, oh, let's put some really sad music on right now or something. It's just very strange behavior to me.
So like you knew what you were getting yourself into, and now you're trying to make her change her content. Now, after everything that we know about Miz, I think that it's much more likely that the reason why he did that is because those videos, maybe it did annoy him as her boyfriend, but also, like, you got to keep in mind that Miz was also farming content with other girls in real life. Like, he would bring on girls like me, Jenna Lynn Meowri. He would bring on, you know, I remember Peach Jars would be on the stream, and that it wasn't like super sexual, but it wasn't not sexual either. And like, there was an innuendo there, right? Emily, yeah, ST Peach, the Botessa. He would bring up Alinity, Fandy, right? Yeah, he would bring these girls on all the time. So before we go and we talk about like, oh, well, it's just like a boyfriend that didn't want to be disrespected by his girlfriend. How can you talk about not wanting to be disrespected by your girlfriend and even play that card whenever you have a revolving door of girls around that you bring on to farm as if like there might be something going on? You see what I'm saying? So like, it's the implication of that, right? And so like, really, that it's just bullshit. And so even if you believe that, it's a double standard that he had. So it's like, you took a girl that makes TikToks and makes short form content, and you bring her into your house and you say you're not allowed to do this anymore. Meanwhile, you're doing the same type of stuff, and Miz has his own stalkers and his own shit too. It's not like he doesn't deal with this. He deals with it too. And so at this point, I think that especially now that it's been so openly discussed and revealed that he cares a lot about viewership, I think that it's much more likely that the reason why he didn't want her posting that content is because that content would get her a lot of attention. Because it did. Big surprise.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. He seems to be very insecure and not want his partner to fucking succeed. He just wants, I mean, that to me is like, that's another aspect of him being controlling, right? You know, he doesn't want his partner to necessarily perform particularly well. He doesn't want them to do better than him. That's very, I mean, that's just, I mean, it's deeply insecure and fucking pathetic, honestly.
So this is the reason, like, I mean, you see kind of the reason, like, I mean, it's just, it's bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. None of it even makes any sense.
OTK then tweets out, OTK fully supports its co-owner and sister Amaru, and we stand by her side and admire her strength in coming forward and sharing her story. While Mizkif was one of several founders of OTK, the organization terminated its relationship with him some time ago for reasons unrelated to the recent events, and he holds no stake in OTK or any of our other companies. Out of respect for those who have come forward, we will let their voices speak above ours. Rune Monster quotes,
gotta make sure they distance himself from him.
tweets with this gif in the caption, OTK every 6 months, and it's a man face palming. Tricks on it Crazy Style says,
a man? It's fucking Frasier. What the fuck do you mean a man face palming, dude? You guys are so uneducated. Am I old? Holy wait, I might be old as fuck. I might actually be old as fuck. That's Kelsey Grammer, bro. You can't just say a man. That's Kelsey Grammer, but I might be old as fuck. Holy shit that I know who that is. You guys have never seen Frasier before? The show is good as fuck. What the hell? Oh my god.
Tweets with this gif in the caption, OTK every 6 months, and it's a man face palming. Tricks on it Crazy Style says, they gotta pack it up, man. This place the online equivalent of the evil ass R building. He tweets out this clip with the caption, Trainwrecks TV gives his take on the Mizkif situation.
I see some messages in the chat, guys. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Listen, bro, I'm staying in my lane. I'm doing my thing. I think it's, you know, I've been in the game. I've been in the game so fucking long. You know, it's been like a decade or some shit. I don't even know. Maybe less, maybe more. So, like I said, I'm just kind of in a defensive stance. I'm just doing my own thing, stay in my own lane. That's kind of what wisdom, you know, has taught me over the years.
Well, didn't Trainwrecks release additional information about the about that situation? Just like when it was like at the most opportune moment. Like, wasn't that one of the problems he had too? About like Mizkif's original situation, instead of like saying it originally, he like held on to the information. I don't know. It seems like a lot of these individuals are not great.
I'm an old fucking man with gray hair. So like I said, I'm staying my own.
Maybe he would have known who Frasier was.
Lane, doing my own thing. That's the way it's going to be. I know a lot of you want reactions, this and that, but yeah, we're just, I don't know.
Infobarb replies, well, yeah, he doesn't directly have to farm drama anymore. Duh. Easy money from gambling addicts. Ranting Rooster says, the way him and XQC are backing down from this when they go feral over literally everything is really disturbing. They really do see Mizkif as a respectable peer. ADHD tweets out this clip with the caption.
Did XQC like back off of this? Huh.
Alinity's thoughts on the Mizkif.
I feel like I saw that. I feel like I saw him talk about it. Am I wrong? Oh, maybe. Am I wrong?
Situation.
Wanting him not to be alone. Because I remember how difficult it was when I was so alone. When no one wanted to talk to me, no one wanted to interact with me, no one was by my side. And so like for me, it's like a struggle between my loyalty to Miz and the fact that he was there for me when nobody else was. And then learning all these.
I wonder why. I wonder if it had something to do with her being a woman and like him being like a kind of a gooner or something.
Things that he did to someone that I really, really, really care about. And so I just want to conclude with saying that I believe Emmy, and that I support her, and that I really, really hope that Miz can get some help.
Get some help. What the fuck?
And the Lord replies, there's 2 big reasons why Mizkif helped her on her lowest. It's his method. Approach a hot girl when she's vulnerable, act like he is a good dude, wait for the right moment, fuck her and leave her traumatized for life. Eva replies to Alinity take by saying, pretty mature take. Definitely says a lot that the person who feels they owe Mizkif a lot, Alinity, still won't defend him here though. And Alex replies, yes, it shows that people always follow groupthink. And War replies, groupthink would be supporting Miz. Cinema and Chill also post this clip on the Livestream Fail subreddit, and DDDNS says, she said he was taking advantage of helping her after the Milo drama. It's a repeating pattern of Miz helping someone at first so he can control them later. And Real Dog
What? Actually, she gave a really shit take on the essay part. What's the shit take that he gave? It seems to be a pattern of Miz being there for attractive women. Yeah, well, he seems to like, I don't know, he seems to like attractive women. And then he seems to take advantage of some of them in like vulnerable spots. Not necessarily like, I'm not necessarily saying that he like sexually assaults all these women or that he's like a sexual predator, but I do think that he's like an abusive person that'll steamroll like people in like a horrible way, and has like, he's incredibly insecure, and he doesn't want anybody that he associates with to be as popular as him, and he will do what he needs to do to destroy your career if he feels like you're getting too you're catching up too much.
replies, MF is real life BoJack Horseman. And J Switch Gaming says, BoJack at least realizes he's a piece of shit. I
No, BoJack's a real piece of shit, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
know that isn't a saving grace, but he at least tries to make amends. Miz is just a piece of shit. Sad Butterscotch says, I feel like the Emmy and Maya accusations were an open secret for a bit. I'm not even overly parasocial, but I saw people in comments joking about it here and there for months. And Pormock says, I remember when Emmy and Maya did a collab at her sanctuary last summer, there were a lot of comments about how they bonded over his abuse. And Inside Sherbert replies, would you say they bonded over his mistakes? He tweets out this clip with the caption, Tectone offers advice to Mizkif.
I will say this, Miz, in case you're watching this, I do hope you take care of yourself. I do. I know you're kind of going down this route of you want to drop nukes on everybody and watch the whole world burn, and that's fine, and that's dandy. It's not really going to change anything, is it? Not really. You can do whatever it is you want to do, but my suggestion is just that you simply retire, move forward with your life. You have the money, and, you know, keep on living.
Meowry quote tweets the post by saying, that one friend who never takes his own advice.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what are you doing? Why is he trying to position himself in this like space to talk about these things? He has no idea what he's talking about. He's like so not self-aware.
And Austin replies, here comes another good-for-nothing OF broad trying to virtue signal. And Meowry says, can we please come up with more creative insults? Thanks. And Helly says, not an insult to call a dog a dog. As someone who has experience with
Well, I don't
sex...
know what you're talking about, dude. Like, it's very clear to me that Tectone has some of his own problems, and he has like issues with historical past abusive relationships, or not abusive, excuse me, toxic. I would say toxic relationships. So I don't really know why he's the one to talk. I don't think that he's some kind of sexual predator or something. But he, like, I remember watching a video about him, and it seems like mostly it's like him being toxic, and like I've been there too, but he doesn't seem to acknowledge it or like care about it in any meaningful way. So that would be kind of the issue there, you know? Like, you know, acknowledge your shit, dude. And it's not like, and obviously he hasn't changed if he's going on his like fucking stream or whatever and saying slurs just for attention, so he can get like different types of attention. Obviously, you know, I mean, come on.
I'd love to send you all some lube recommendations for all the dick riding you're doing. Cheers. And Hallie says, no way you're using dick rider as an insult after posting, can we please come up with more creative insults? Thanks. Hamau, are you drunk? The same excuse as your girlfriend? What a sad, sad existence. And Toki replies, not an insult to call a dick rider a dick rider. Emerald Apple replies to Meowry's original quote tweet by saying, he hasn't been streaming for months now, but of course you know nothing. Big Vid replies to Meowry's post by saying, agreed, but no comments about all the Miz stuff? Odd. And Meowry says, I've had my own unfortunate experiences with Mizkif, and I've considered speaking out about them. I, however, didn't feel it was appropriate to bring them up so soon after Emmy shared her experiences. I think that's reasonable. If you think for a second that I condone his actions, you're very mistaken. And A1 Beef replies, your silence protects no one but Mizkif. What if you had spoken out earlier? What if everyone who had bad experiences did? Maybe you could have stopped Emmy from ever getting involved with him. But
I mean, you could say that same thing to Emmy, which I wouldn't, by the way. Like, people had bad experiences with this guy who had like a complete atmosphere of like control. So what the fuck, dude? Had this like complete atmosphere of control. So I think that that's why people didn't come forward sooner. I think it's kind of like ignorant to say some dumbass shit like that.
But you kept silent, and everyone knows why. For clout. Shame on you. Shame. Emmy already says, have y'all conveniently forgotten back when I would constantly get hate brigaded by his...
I'm saying that these people, like, there are so many people who I don't even think actually care what happened to Emmy Rue, because like they don't understand like the fundamentals of like what's wrong. If the narrative was just against her, they would just be saying that she was in the wrong. That's it. Because I think what a stupid fucking thing to say. Oh, why didn't you come forward sooner? Okay, well, if she had bad experiences, maybe it's because, you know, there's an entire atmosphere that allowed him to get away with what he was doing, where he had like favoritism and whatnot.
Community on my socials after Twitch banned him for his behavior towards me at PAX East back in the day. I didn't even stream on Twitch at the time or knew who he was, by the way. You all demand things and have no understanding of the interactions and
Keeping silent for clout makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. That's their argument. Oh, you say silent for clout. Wouldn't you want to say something for clout? You know? What the fuck are you talking about?
Conversations that occur behind the scenes. Check yourself. Dom quote tweets by saying, dude basically said, hey, big bruh, you ain't got to expose me anymore. Just chill and live your life. Amy OK tweets out about Tectone saying, the CEO of our Olympics getting a little too comfortable on the timeline with all this Miz stuff. We haven't forgot about you, Baldy. And Dark Sleuths replies, a typical OF whore thinking she is important. And
Jesus Christ, what's up with these people? I'm talking about they just hate women. That's fucking crazy.
Nami replies, getting naked and selling pics versus R-ing your girlfriend and making her pay rent and sex. Which is worse, Luca trade or 9/11? Novaru tweets out, my experience with Mizkif SHing me. Back in 2019, I hooked up with another streamer who told me he was single, but I later found out he was still involved with a mutual friend. That person anonymously leaked our private DMs. While I was already dealing with that violation of privacy, Mizkif used the situation as content in front of tens of thousands of viewers. On stream, he mocked and degraded me, encouraging others to shame me sexually. His comments included references to adult work I did when I was 18 and sarcastic remarks suggesting I should come over so they could use me for content, while his friends joined in slut-shaming and ridiculing me. His audience harassed me for months afterwards, echoing his comments. I was only 20 and new to streaming, while most of them were in their late 20s. The entire ordeal was deeply traumatizing. Mizkif later sent me a brief apology, only after realizing his behavior might get him banned. By then, the damage was done. I was a small streamer and too scared to report him in fear of the backlash. I'm not trying to rehash all drama, but I truly believe Mizkif has a pattern of abuse and does not deserve a platform. I support every person who's come forward about their experience with him. She then attaches this clip with the caption full video. It's a hard watch and I cringe deeply watching it back. And then her thread continues, I know some people will try to twist my intentions, but I'm speaking because what happened was wrong and staying silent only protects abusers. Most people thought it was funny at the time, but I know some saw how disgusting that situation really was. She then attaches this post on Reddit from SG8970, who says, I've been around too long, but I remember there being more to Nova/Cutie thing, and Cutie not liking her for things other than this. I can't be the only loser that remembers this shit. I feel like there's more to this than Cutie just blacklisting her to protect Miz or some shit. Nova has had questionable behavior too. I can imagine a lot of people not liking her, but it's fucked any harassment she dealt with. And Nova replies, my post was reposted to Reddit and I just want to respond to this. If there was any beef between Cutie and I prior to this stream, I am not aware of it. This was my first public drama, and besides being a former adult worker at the time, no one really knew too much about me. And lastly, yes, I've been involved in controversies, but almost all of them came from calling out problematic creators. If that makes you uncomfortable because it challenges your image of your favorite streamer, maybe ask yourself why that is. If I wanted attention, I'd be streaming every day, but I've genuinely dedicated this year to fostering kittens for my local shelter, 26 this year, taking care of my pets, and
not fostering bunnies. L move, dude. L
building
move.
genuine off-stream friendships. Tonsil Deep replies, not defending anyone here, but you have your
fucking Tonsil Deep is crazy.
OF in your Twitter bio. Nothing said here was defaming or not already available on the internet. The internet is forever. Anything here will always be here. Was it shitty what they did? Sure, but they didn't lie. And Nova replies, at the time I had quitted old content and was trying to move on from it. They knew this and used it to shame me. And Tonsil says, the internet is forever. There is no moving on from anything here. Not saying
Isn't that what cancel culture is though? There's no moving on from the internet. That's what cancel culture is, no?
It's fair. It is just the way the world we live in works. Age of Illusion replies, I don't see any SH in this video. What even is this? Maybe embarrassed you, but SH? No. Tom replies to the clip by saying, the craziest thing is that anyone could ever watch this live and not think that there was something wrong with it. Also a great example of one of the reasons I never like a cutie.
I mean, if they were harassing her in a sexual capacity, you consider it some kind of sexual harassment, sure. If you call someone gay at the workplace, that's considered sexual harassment. I know, because I called someone gay. No.
Reasonable Twitter user says, this one doesn't sound like that big of a deal. E-girl gets to...
No, we learned that, obviously, when we were... we take, like, sensitivity courses and stuff. So if you call someone gay, it's considered sexual harassment. Isn't that crazy?
Gust. Jaws also posted this post on the Livestream Fail subreddit, saying Novaru talks about Miz SHing her and how Cutie Cinderella blacklisted her after the harassment on stream. And Jesseth replies, Miz is a cringe weirdo, but everyone who has been in the live streaming space for any amount of years at this point knows that Novaru is an extremely weird person herself, who tries to insert herself into just about every drama that happens. She is the epitome and person I think of first when I think of a Twitch clout shark. And Intrepid Tank replies, this is Novaru, the absolute weirdo who famously got caught trying to sneak into Cutie's house party wearing a wig as a disguise. Anyone in this thread who are dunking on Cutie must be one, new drama frogs who have no idea who Novaru is, or two, belongs to a certain...
What is a drama frog?
Psychotic community who doesn't like a Cutie/Ludwig. But...
What the fuck?
Chat messages from Mizkif actually were released when a Terminal posted on the Livestream Fail subreddit with the caption, Mizkif tries to use drugs to defend himself in his offline chat. Claims he has changed since moving to LA. Image attached. In its messages of Miz saying, hey, don't harass people, come on. Just chill. I'm getting people saying this place is a freaking out. You know, I know I've done a lot of wrong in my years on Twitch that I wish I could take back. But a lot of you know I've been working on myself for the past year hard. It's not...
Jesus Christ, how much of a pattern of I'm working on myself, guys, don't be mad at me is like going on here? It's just fucking ridiculous.
Weird. People don't know because people don't watch me. I've been in therapy for almost a year, been working on myself, and I want to continue to do so. I'm not going.
Guys, I've been in therapy for a year. By the way, I still have the bunny. I still have this this bunny cage narrative that I'm going to operate with.
back to the place I once was. I was depressed, and taking every type of drug possible to short-term fix my brain. And in doing that, I hurt myself more. I was on steroids because I thought it would fix myself. I was taking shrooms every day to fix.
He's on steroids? When did he ever look like he was on steroids? Also, I think Hassan Parker is on steroids. I don't know. I'm just being silly.
My brain, but that destroyed me. Never take shrooms when depressed, like ever. I would take my head and push it into my pool to try to drown myself.
I'm not understanding. Why was he on steroids? Like, to work out and to get results faster? I'm very confused.
On shrooms. So for 2 years, all I did is...
I meant to say Tectone, by the way. I think Tectone's on steroids. I actually do think that, though, because he has, like, anger problems. And he doesn't squat. And his bench form is so bad that it would rip apart most people's fucking like shoulders before they even got that close. So it makes me think he's just like on fucking gear because he has no idea what he's doing, obviously.
Take shrooms to fix my brain and steroids to fix myself. I tried acid.
Unless you got the results so quickly. You know what I'm saying?
And that backfired. In doing that, I know I fucked up so bad and hurt so many people around me. I lashed out. I was angry and out of my mind. I did take steroids. That gave me insane anger issues. You could tell when I was. Because I don't want you guys to know I was. It was embarrassing. I got off steroids about a year ago fully. You can't just get off it. I take full accountability for who I was. I wish I didn't just go for drugs and really focus on fixing myself. I went for short-term fixes and it backfired. But I am proud of my progress this last year. I'm proud of who I've been becoming. I feel more normal than ever. It doesn't change what I did in the past. I understand people will see that and not want to come back or not talk to me. Every time I close my eyes since 2022 while I was in Austin, I envisioned different ways of ending myself. You Never Lose replies with this picture of Mizkif and old chat messages from Miz where he says, if you think I'm on steroids, you're a fucking moron. Like actually a moron. Lighting plus pump plus genetics. Like
lighting plus pump plus genetics, baby.
Actually the stupidest comments I've ever seen. It's not a compliment, it just undermines my work. You bust your ass and people think you're on steroids. My arms...
Well, I mean, just because you're on steroids doesn't mean that you're not busting your ass, just to be clear.
Have always been huge? When haven't they? Have I always been on steroids? If I was on steroids, you'd see a massive change in my body. My chest is still garbage. My back is still whatever. I do work on my chest all the time. But guess what? I don't have great chest genetics. I have good shoulder/arms. And Disagreed replies, prove he'll lie to the end even when there's obvious evidence. Lol. What a piece of shit character.
Well, I mean, that's like a Rich Piana move, right? To say that you're not on steroids when you're very clearly on steroids. It's so fucking crazy.
How do these people keep getting famous? Intelligent Extent replies, being a sociopath is life on easy mode. And Obs replies, until it isn't. Rest Agile says, he only admits steroids now.
Can we take steroids together? Maybe, dude. Let's do it. One day. I'm just kidding.
Now because he hopes it will help him with his lies against Imuru. Brett Golart says he's been pulling the S manipulation on his audience since he signed with Rumble. It's so pathetic at this point. These logs actually make me laugh. Everything he was accused of by these schizo fans that watched him for years was actually true. And Vanilla Face replies, it was way before that, Lamau. It's what made me stop watching to start. He was just always sad over everything and I got miserable to watch. I tuned in occasionally.
I mean, that makes sense if he's so fucking moody. Because he's on some kind of gear. So
since I've gotten a fair amount of money from the guy from YLYL.
I wonder if he's only on test or if he's on like other shit as well.
But never could watch for very long. Equal Plant replies to the post by saying, remember when Nut found his shrooms and thought it was rotten veggies and threw it all out? Attaching this clip.
Just get damaged from taking this. That Jay Cutler dude?
It's fucking... It's the vegetables that they had. It's the vegetables that he got from.
Yeet tweets out this clip with the caption, Asmongold has no love lost over Mizkif's sympathy baiting.
Nowadays, use suicide as a trump card in response to criticism. It's kind of like Kevin Spacey got outed for being like a bad actor.
This guy just can't stop talking about Trump, dude.
Which actually turned out to not be true, by the way. Seemingly, Kevin Spacey is a fine guy, or at least like not a criminal. But
what the fuck? What are we talking about here? What?
You know, immediately said, "Oh, I'm gay now," right, or something like that, right? In order to like,
I'm sorry, what?
Bad actor, which in response to criticism. It's kind of like Kevin Spacey got outed for being like a bad actor, which actually turned out to not be true, by the way.
Well, Kevin Spacey's a good actor, but didn't he like touch somebody when they were young? Like he was like doing some weird shit in Hollywood.
Seemingly, Kevin Spacey is a fine guy, or at least like not a criminal.
What the fuck? Oh, dude, I just feel like I just got... Am I fucking crazy? Like, Kevin Spacey is a good actor, but I'm pretty sure he touched... I think it was like a 16-year-old boy in like Hollywood. What? Yeah, there were multiple sexual misconduct allegations. I mean, he was acquitted of sexual assault charges. Okay, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. Also, like, Asmongold's been on a tear about how Hollywood is fucking crazy and put it full of pedophiles, no? I guess except for Trump and Epstein. That part he doesn't really seem to care about. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right. I guess they just couldn't prove it. Okay. He's a fine guy, guys. He's a fine guy. He's just a fine guy.
You know, immediately said, "Oh, I'm gay now," right, or something like that, right? In order to
Well, he was gay, so that makes sense that he would say he's gay.
it's like to do this is like really you talk about, oh, well, I want to kill myself. Well, what about all the people that you negatively affected? Have you ever thought that maybe they wanted to kill themselves? Maybe.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with Kevin Spacey saying he's gay? What the fuck is happening right now? What I'm truly flabbergasted. What is happening right now? Fuck, I'm so dumb. I'm dead.
Do you ever think about like maybe how that would affect them? No, you don't.
I don't understand. Like, he's a fine guy. I remember since the boy couldn't describe the apartment from like 20 years ago well enough, that was a huge blow to his credibility. That's fucking insane. Okay, incredible. Well, I guess he's a fine guy, guys. Holy shit.
You don't think about them because it's all about you.
Okay.
It's all about you, and that's it. No, I never have any, like, whenever a person goes and they do something that negatively affects another person, then my sympathy for that person goes down to zero. Sympathy baiting, yeah. Never let somebody sympathy bait you.
Okay. Is that, I guess the point he was trying to make is that Kevin Spacey was sympathy baiting by saying he was gay. Okay. Gotcha.
This is that people like this are manipulative. They are conniving,
But wait, wouldn't by this logic, wouldn't Kevin Spacey be manipulative and conniving then? Because they're trying to sympathy bait? So I don't understand.
manipulative, abusive people that will use your own emotions against you so they can get you
what?
While you least expect it.
Sorry, I just want to be very clear. He just said that Kevin Spacey was a fine guy that has like multiple allegations of sexual misconduct. Okay. And then he said that because he felt like he needed to bring Kevin Spacey up for whatever reason. Then said that he was using sympathy baiting tactics, just like Mizkif is, by saying he wants to take his own life. And then he says, "I'm very confused. Do you guys understand what the confusion I'm having here is?" Okay, so he talks about how Mizkif was weaponizing his mental health to hide behind as a shield. Then he brings up Kevin Spacey, says he's a fine guy because he was acquitted of all the sexual misconduct, because I guess the boy couldn't accurately describe the apartment from 20 years ago, despite the fact that he's on a tear about how Hollywood are, predators, except for, I guess, Trump covering for Epstein, but whatever. But then he brings up how Kevin Spacey said that he was gay just to try to use it as a shield. And then he moves back to Mizkif and says then he says Kevin Spacey's a fine guy. And then he goes back and says that Mizkif is a bad person for weaponizing his mental health. But would Kevin Spacey also be bad because you made the comparison of the two? This is insane. Like, Asmongold just like speaks. I don't even understand. Are you ready for Kevin Spacey to like have a comeback? Like, what's going on here? What is happening?
Never do it.
He tweets out this clip with the caption, Asmongold offers his honest advice to Mizkif, thinks he's on track for jail.
Do you think he's done? I honestly think that, I think that he should just take a break and he should just try to, legitimately, just stop. I think that I think he will continue spiraling, and I think that it might have already reached this point, but based off of stories that are coming out right now, it might have already reached this point. But I think it will reach the point where he ends up doing something that ends him up in jail, straight up. Because it's already gone past the getting mad level. It's already gone past the getting physical level. It's now you're talking about sexual assault, alleged sexual assault, right, for legal reasons, but in general, right? And yeah, bro's going off the deep end. Yeah, exactly, right. And so I really do think that he should just take a break. I really think he should just take a break and calm down.
Take a break, my friend.
And so really, that's my that's my honest advice.
Esoteric, a Catboy replies, he's literally only saying this because he's friends with Amaru. If Tectone did the exact same shit, he wouldn't give a fuck. Then there's all the Dexero posts that started going viral, where Dexero talked about Tommy Innit and Mizkif, with a quote from Tommy saying, I've never genuinely hated every word and movement someone did. Tommy Innit says Mizkif is the worst person he's met last year. And this was back in January.
Well, Tommy's fucking annoying too, but I guess he's not some kind of a weirdo. Okay, I feel like Asmongold's still friendly with Mizkif. So that's what that kind of seems like to me. But okay.
But Laney quote tweeted a couple days ago saying, Tommy in it is vindicated once again. Cinnamon Toast Can also quote tweeted another post he made back in May where he said, another day, another content creator being exposed as a trash can, saying a couple days ago, I'm tired, boss. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko, Sal Sal, Kodos, Mindy, Don't Captain Crash Out. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.
Okay. Beautiful stuff. I think I could break this. What do you guys think? Great stuff. Great video.